right, Jim, we want to talk about all the active weather. By the way, we've had 2 inches officially here at the Weather Channel. All the meteorologists are outside. And since we can't run outside, since we're on air, they're going to bring us some in studio. And so we're excited to get some snow in studio, just a little bit so we can see it, because it is so exciting. But it is also very serious and can be very dangerous. So we know that there's a thin line that we're walking here where we want to show our passion and our excitement for the snow, but we want everyone to be very, very careful on the roads because they are getting very bad, not only in Atlanta, but throughout parts of the South. This is a big deal. This is a big storm that's covering a huge swath of area, and we're starting to see some outages here. Snow and ice has developed from Texas into Arkansas. Look at Mississippi, seeing some power outages there as well. And officially, we'll get more reports in as the day goes on. Officially, kind of west of Little Rock is where we've seen the highest total of 9 inches there. And notice that we have had a swath of snow with some decent totals all the way into northern Alabama. So there's your Dirks, Arkansas with 9 inches, double digits Kansas on into Texas where we had a foot of snow that came down. And it wasn't just the snow. We also had the ice. That's going to help with some of those power outages and make matters worse and, of course, make things slippery and very, very tough to travel at all, even just a glaze. So this isn't necessarily enough for huge power outages. You'll get some, but it is enough to wreak havoc on the roads. Moisture, we've got plenty of it in the south, and we are getting our system to move over, and you can see snow coming down. Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee, still coming down into Arkansas. We'll go to Little Rock live here momentarily, and we do have that threat for some very heavy rain coming in. There's our low. It's all moving east. And notice the radar. See how you see these little jumps of like peach? That's because we have to look at the atmosphere as if it's a hamburger, and there's all these different layers, and you get different things, whether it is dry or moist or cold or warm at all these different layers, and that's going to determine what you see on the ground here. Little Rock, it's snow for you, but look at Pine Bluff, where we're actually just a little farther south. You're getting ice, and that's the same story here. It's all kind of mixed in. Birmingham, we had snow, Jordan, mixing over to ice. So if you have the snow, enjoy it while it's there, because you might see that mix come into place, especially along this I-20 corridor and a little bit north there.
What if we look at the atmosphere like stacked pancakes?
Yeah, you can do that, inches, but the kids need to get outside and play in it now.
Yes, indeed.
We have 2 inches officially at the Weather Channel, a little bit more, and one of our meteorologists behind the scene, because there's this huge, massive team of meteorologists behind the scene that help us make us look good. They went outside. There's at least 2 inches and brought us 3 snowballs for me and Jordan and Reynolds to play with here. So kids, go outside, play in it. We promised the production team we're not going to throw this in studio with all the electronics and everything, but get outside and enjoy it while we've got it, because we are going to see that mix coming into Atlanta. You can already see it's trying to creep in into portions of Alabama, and that's going to happen here. It's going to change over to sleet and then maybe a little mix of rain and snow. These planes, this is at ground stop. I can't believe even these planes are getting in. The airport's reporting a mix, though, perhaps of rain and snow and a little bit of sleet coming in. Long story short, what we have with temperatures right now, we are going to stay in this cold air as we head into tomorrow morning. So what you've got on the ground, if some does melt today with the rain or even the sunlight, watch for some ice tomorrow morning if you are heading out to either run or do a little driving. Let's go to Little Rock, where they just got hammered with snow. Chris Warren live there. Chris, I'm assuming it's packable snow. So let's time out Cora as it continues to move east into South Carolina. This is coming to you, Greenville, Asheville, Hendersonville, Seneca. We're already starting to see some of that snow here in North Carolina. Shelby, you've got the sunshine, but things are going to go downhill for us as we go through the day. There's the snow coming in as we head through the afternoon, and notice that mix coming in a little bit later. So you're going to change over to ice, perhaps a mix of snow and sleet, a little freezing rain coming in, and it pulls out as we head into our Saturday morning. We're expecting 2 to 3 inches. Heavier snow in the upstate, of course. You can squeeze a lot more out where you have the mountains. There are concerns about freezing rain falls and freezes on contact. That can droop power lines, that can droop trees, and that can mean that you could run out of power. And this will make for treacherous travel conditions for us here along all of the roads. So here's a look at Columbia. Notice we have this warm nose of air at 10,000 feet. That can make or break what happens, but it cools off as we go through the day. But Jim, that's the hard thing with these forecasts. When you're right on that line, you're warm, you're cool, there's dry, there's moist, and so you get a smorgasbord of weather.
Back to you.
Yeah, 600 flights canceled there, and it's going to take time to catch up, right? Because Dallas also has hundreds of delays and cancellations from yesterday. So it's going to take a minute, everyone. Even if you have a flight that is scheduled to take off tomorrow, your crew might not be in the right place. So you got to keep that in mind. We still could have several more days of catch up. All right, snow is coming to South Carolina. It's time to be excited here for the upstate of North South Carolina, and it's going to be moving east for us here. It's just getting in now, so it's time to basically get your breakfast, get ready to get outside and play in that snow. I know there's been a lot of kids and dogs and adults alike playing in the snow this morning. Look at that warm nose, though, moving up, which means we're going to change over to ice. And like I told everyone in Atlanta and Birmingham and all these areas, get out and enjoy the snow while you've got it, because icing could come into the picture as well. And then it's all going to be clearing out. But Saturday morning, notice our temperatures are still very, very cold. So any sort of liquid that's still on the ground, or if maybe something gets melted, it is going to refreeze, and that's going to be very problematic. Of course, higher elevations going to see higher snow because it forces that air mass up and it squeezes it out for us. There's a look at the ice. Now, this is going to be very problematic on the roads. Also could cause some power outages for us here. And of course, you have that refreeze overnight that is going to make things very slippery, and it's all about the layers of the atmosphere, right? I always say the atmosphere is like a hamburger, and my colleagues are leaning into that analogy as well this morning because it's the best way to think about it. This is the bottom bun. Thanks for that, Reynolds. That is the bottom bun. We're at 33, and if you go up to the meat, the tomato layer, and the top bun, it is frozen, but right at the surface, it's a little bit warm. So that can mess with the type of weather that you get, and notice the different temperatures and the different types of precip that you get during the day here. You get a little warmer aloft and then cooler at the surface, and that changes everything. All right, things have been changing all morning with Paul Goodlow in Atlanta. Paul, where are we now at officially?